All right, our speaker today is somebody who just actually got the schedule a little altered, and so we're hearing her at a little different time than we typically do. But that's fabulous because she's here today to share with us a beautiful message. So, Reverend Joyce, go ahead.
Morning. This has been a really interesting week, and it's turned out to be an interesting session today on Zoom with little issues of technology, but this issues of just life here on Feather Ranch. It started last Sunday, and for me, it was just continued on all week long, and here it is Sunday again. But the week has been it's just been sort of crazy. All the things that Christine shared were the things that I do, and it seems like for example, planting flowers. And I've had the deer eat my favorite roses, and the ground squirrels are ravaging my hollyhocks, and the pigs are back, and all of these things are going on here. And I'm thinking, what is happening? It's just, I guess, summertime, and the living is easy. And that's the song I heard being sung, and I love that song. But my life this past, actually for the last couple of months, has been anything but easy these days. And I was scheduled to speak on the 1st of August, but things were just so chaotic around here that I just had to release that opportunity. And Brian gave me another opportunity to speak today. So I'm happy to be with you. I'm a little more together, but I'd like to share a little bit of my story with you, especially the title of my talk. I love that title, from scared to sacred, see the change. And this was shared with me by a really sweet lady. She has since made her transition, Carolyn Blanchard Bailey. Some of you may remember her, but I was having a women's retreat here at my home, and she shared that with me. She says that we we have that choice, that by just seeing the change, and see in the word scared and the word sacred, changing its position. And that's what I've been having the opportunity to do in more and more in my life these days. Uh, I've shared with you before that my husband John is experiencing the disease of Alzheimer's. And in the last 2 months, his ability to function independently has diminished drastically, and he cannot be left alone. And I find my life consumed with his care and the care of Feather Ranch. And many people have reached out to me. I want to extend my appreciation to those with the Unity community. And I'm finding ways to receive that help. And John's new primary care doctor has made sure that we get some home health care here. But people are coming and going. It's like Grand Central Station here, with the various people that are being sent here for physical therapy, for speech therapy even, and RNs, and taking his temperature, taking his blood pressure, all of this. So in the meantime, my blood pressure has been going out of, has been up and down, and I've been keeping track of that too. So he, in the last, it's just been in the last few years that John's body has been growing weaker and less able to keep up with the ranch chores here. And I hired a young man that lives in the neighborhood, and he's been helping and doing some tractor work and mowing. And he comes for a couple of hours every Monday. And I sure appreciate him, because I save all my heavy duty lifting, like bales of hay, or 50-pound sacks of horse feed or bird seed. Because I feed my horses and my birds and my dog. I feed everybody very well here. So, and that's why the wild squirrels, the ground squirrels, love this place, because I have lots of things for them to eat here, and the pigs, and various other animals that are seem to be gravitating here. I especially those pigs. Oh my gosh! I had the lawn all looking nice, and yesterday morning it's all dug up again. Not all of it, but part of it. Anyway, I have a device that shoots water at them, and it's motion detected, and I saved that from last year, and it seemed to be working well, because this morning the grass, it hasn't been damaged anymore. So Anyway, back to my story. I wrote this and I was really involved in putting this together to read to you this morning because it helped me. It was kind of like journal writing for me, and it really helped centered me. And so I'll go on with my story. I was telling you that I hired this young man to do the tractor work, and tractor riding on the tractor and doing tractor work has been one of John's favorite things to do. It's his favorite toy, so to speak. And when he got to a place where it was too dangerous for him to ride it, one day he drove off a culvert and almost tipped it over. And one of my neighbors said to me, Joyce, you got to hide those keys. So I decided to do that. And but that's caused major confrontations between us. But things have evened out because his ability to remember a lot of stuff has actually been a blessing when I look back. But you know, I don't wish that on anybody. But I think one of the hardest things about this disease that we celebrated our 50th anniversary in 2008, and the song that we played and we danced to our first, we had a disc jockey here and dancing on the driveway, and it was just a delightful day. Neighbors pitched in and helped decorate the house, but our whole family was here. But it was a beautiful day. We had about 50 people here, and it was great. But we had this disc jockey play our favorite song, and that song is by Dean Martin, and it's called "Memories Are Made of This." And every time I hear it, even speaking about it, it touches my heart so, because it kind of tells a story about our life with three little kids. For the flavor, and listen to that song sometime, and you'll hear my life, my life story. Anyway, the Alzheimer's disease, it robs the brain of memory, and short-term memories are the first to go. And as the disease progresses, long-term memories disappear. And for many several years now, John has shared these long-term memories again and again, and the same story over and over again. And I was being so patient, and I would listen as if I was hearing it for the first time. And now I don't hear them anymore. And I kind of miss those stories that he used to share because his long-term memory is gone now. And to me, this has been a daily journey. And talking about being scared, it has been a journey of being scared and trying to do what I need to do to move into a place of that sacred love and compassion. And it truly has tested my faith. It's to to be able to adjust to these changes without losing touch, and knowing where my strength is, where it lies, and in the sacredness of love and compassion. And I keep repeating my mantra: God is my strength and vision is his gift. And for me to have the vision to see the blessing in all that is taking place, to find that blessing in my life's experiences. And sometimes I may not be able to see them right away, but eventually I do. And one of the activities that give John and I a lot of pleasure these days is listening to music. And our daughters, Lori, Carrie, and Joni, they chipped in and got me a Bose speaker for my birthday or Mother's Day. I'm not sure which, but it's just the greatest thing. I connect my iPhone to it, and I can choose the music I want to hear. And John and I sit together after our breakfast or lunch or dinner, and we'll listen to this music. And I will play songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, old songs, or Western songs, or soul songs. He can relate to the music, and he often remembers the words as we listen to the music of our lifetime. And I think that I so appreciate Janice and Rich. They have come to our ranch months ago, and we sat out on the porch and they played music and sang, and he still remembers that when I tell him. And I told him that they're going to come back again, and he's looking forward to that. And I so appreciate that offer that Janice and Rich have offered to us, that time that they spend here. It is truly a blessing. I thank you for that. So my daily practice has taken on new meaning for me too. I shared with you, since I've gotten my puppies, they're almost 4 years old now. I can't believe I went through raising these two young dogs. I think about LaDawn and her dog and how loving her dog is, her rescue dog. And these two dogs were kind of rescue dogs too, because it was an accidental breeding, the owner said, and with her female and her daughter's male that hadn't been fixed, and they got together, and her dog was a blue tick hound and her daughter's dog is a German short hair pointer. And the little girl that we have, Lucy, she is the epitome of a German short hair pointer, so full of energy. Nothing makes her tired, except when my husband accidentally let them out last Sunday. That added to the chaos. And they didn't come back until 9:30 when I was ready. Thankfully, before I went to bed, I was able to hear them and was able to invite them home and give them their dinner. They took off together like they do if they're together. I have to let them out separately because they can be very naughty at times. But anyway, I love them, and they have been a great diversion for me as I've been moving through these months, these years. Um, I remember I talked to you. I did a lesson one time. I don't know, probably during the time when I was putting so much effort into training these puppies. And the words that I came up with for the title of my talk was sit, stay, pray. But I didn't have pray in there. I just well, I added that myself because I'm always saying sit and stay. And then when they behave, I give them the release and say, okay. But for me, I use it for myself to discipline myself. And I say, sit, stay, and then pray. And then everything's going to be okay. And I've been knowing more and more with the busyness that I'm having to deal with these days that I need to take moments out of my day. I don't have to plan on a half-hour meditation or an hour like I used to be able to do, but just to take a few minutes helps to center myself. And I find that I encourage anybody that's having a rough day and my mind is just flooded with things I have to do and have to take care of. And if I don't control myself and sit myself down and sit and stay until I can feel that centeredness, it's not going to be a good day for me. So I have to I have to remember how to take care of myself with everybody and everything around here that I am finding time for. I must find time for myself to spend the time that I know in my spiritual practice that I know is beneficial for me and helps me to keep on keeping on. I recently, while I was preparing this talk, I read in this month's guide to spiritual living these words. I'd like to read them to you. It talks about faith. I've got a sip of water here. And I feel that the word faith, that when I think of when I feel scared and move to a place of by seeing a change and feeling a sacredness, that's what faith is to me. My faith is that sacred place that I have, that I turn to and go within and know that there's a higher power, there's a presence within me that can create miracles and help bring me into a place of peace, to feel that peace and feel centered, and everything is okay after that. But I have to keep doing that. I can't just depend on doing that once throughout the day. It's many times throughout my day. But I'd like to read this. What I found, I just find everything that I need is always right there at my fingertips. I'll get a phone call from a friend, or I'll read something that helps return me to that sacredness of love and faith and just a release to know that I can claim that peace for myself. Anyway, and go back to this. Faith allows us to see beyond appearances. When life gets too painful, faith allows us to see there is a higher truth beyond the horizon. Emmanuel Tenney teaches, and I've never heard of him before, but it says he teaches, there are no guarantees. From the viewpoint of fear, none are strong enough. From the viewpoint of love, none are necessary. I like that. There are no guarantees. From the viewpoint of fear, none are strong enough. From the viewpoint of love, none are necessary. So we don't have any guarantees in life. We need to do, as Peggy, I remember last week, I think she said, treat and move your feet. And as a religious scientist, we have spiritual mind treatment, and I have been doing more spiritual mind treatments for myself these days. And what a difference it makes in my life to hold with that truth. So I'm on, continuing on. If we, I think there is just serendipity that last week Rich talked about fear, and I had this being scared, that basically that is being in a place of fear. And I read something in the this was not even part of my talk, but I just this morning I sat down and I thought I'll just open up to see what Mark Nepo has to say on August 29th. And by golly, it's about worry. And I'm thinking my next talk is going to be about worry, because I believe that when we worry, we take away we take away that we worry about the future, takes away the peace of today. And when I read this about that Mark Nepo wrote, and I thank Sadie Blanton for suggesting this book. It has been a wonderful book for me to go to. It's a daily, has like a daily reading, and it gives me so much strength. But what he has to say, and I just took a little sentence out of here. He said, I was hard pressed to stop my worrying, and I soon discovered that worry was the mental echo of fear, the replaying in detail of all the bad things that might or might not come into being. I'll read that again. This is what Mark Nepo said. He was dealing with cancer at the time, and he said, I was hard pressed to stop it, the worrying, even in, I've started again. I was hard pressed to stop it, and soon I discovered that worry was the mental echo of fear, the mental echo of fear. That really stuck in my mind. The replaying of the replaying in detail of all the bad things that might or might not come into being. And also, I know that when we are in a place of fear, it's usually about what's going to happen in the future. And I think that this is where I've had some great opportunities to know how that is causing my thinking, especially with this Alzheimer's disease, because everybody said, "Oh, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse." And I have seen the progression in my husband's mental acuity, and it is a worry. But I am I'm reaching out the Alzheimer's Association, and I've been hearing from other people that have family members, people close to them, or friends that are dealing with this too. And I think that the sharing, and that's why I'm sharing today, because the sharing is so important, because we're not alone in this journey called life, and dealing with the things that come to us in our life. Because I never thought that this would be an issue in my life. John lost his mother when she was only 57, and his father was only 61, and John is now 86. So he's has lived a good long life thanks to me. I've given him a lot of love and support all these 63 years of marriage, and he has to me as well. And I appreciate our relationship together, and I want to do all that I can to make this time of life to show him my love and compassion, because I think that when I do that, he seems to come back in his thinking, and he recognizes where he is. He recognizes who I am. And I got a big scare the other day when I brought him downstairs after his nap, and we have a stair lift, and I brought him down on the stair lift. I tell him I don't want him walking down the stairs by himself. I always go up and bring him down, set him out on the front porch, and had the music out there too for him to listen to, and got him a tiny cone to eat, and made him comfortable. And he looked at me, and I wrote down, and says, he just looked up and he casually asked me, is Joyce up? And then I got scared. I thought, oh my God, he doesn't remember who I am. And then I looked at him and I said, which Joyce? And he said, my wife. At least he remembered Joyce is his wife. And I replied, I am that Joyce. And then his face just lit up and like, oh yeah, you are that Joyce. And that was a time, for me, it's like a scared, this scared thought entered my mind. Has he now forgotten who I am? And I thought, erase that thought, cancel. This is not, this is not the way it has to be. I can have that faith to know that we can bring each other back and show each other the love and compassion. I don't think that Alzheimer's has taken away his love and compassion. I feel that every day. And that's what helps me keep on keeping on. Because every day he tells me how much he loves me, and I tell him the same. So it's been this blessing in this. And he has forgotten a lot of the fact that I hid the tractor keys. He's forgotten that. And he doesn't drive any, he's lost his license years ago, but I'm sure he misses the things that he used to be able to do here, but I miss it more for him. I don't think he realizes, I don't really think that, I think I'm probably, that he may be in a pretty good place in that he has that, a lightness of being and knowing that every day and everything's new, and that can be pretty nice. I have to, look for the blessing in whatever is happening. So I'm getting sidetracked, but anyway, I love talking with you. I love sharing, and I think sharing is so important, and that's what I love about this unity community, the sharing that goes on. And sorry, I'm not going to be at the beach party tonight. I like beach parties, but again, it's not something I'm able to do at this time. But anyway, life, I have down here, life is a teaching tool. Yes, it is. I am reminded that I have a choice between fear, being scared, okay, or love and seeking the sacred. And that's what love is to me, is that seeking of the sacred. And I wrote this in my journal just a couple of days ago. These are I'm always finding ways to inspire myself. And so I wrote this. It says, today I am accepting what is, letting go of what was, and having faith in what is yet to be. And that is my mantra, my daily mantra. Today I am accepting what is, letting go of what was, and having faith in what is yet to be. I I like that what I wrote so much that I put a heart around it, and then I wrote under it heartfelt words of wisdom. I gave myself that credit to having those heartfelt words of wisdom. So for the for the inward journey, accepting. I like this what I read about acceptance, because sometimes you think acceptance is just letting go and not doing anything about it, but this is what I read and wrote. Acceptance is not resignation. Acceptance is serenity, embracing life. It's not resignation, it's serenity, embracing life. And this, serenity, I love that word. I have a beautiful painting in my living room, and it's a painting of a desert scene. And John and I used to camp in the desert a lot when our family was young. And we'd ride motorcycles in the desert. And I had to sell my Honda not too long ago. But anyway, that's what we did then. And this scene is, there's a little tag underneath it that the author labeled that scene serenity. So sometimes when I'm feeling unlike serenity within, I'll stand in front of that photograph, that painting, and just gaze upon it. And it gives me serenity. And whatever works, do it. Whatever works for you, do it. So anyway, I have to share with you, this is what I wrote. There are times that I feel guilty and I wonder if I'm doing enough. Am I spending enough time with John to ease his confusion, acknowledging him for what he still can do, and helping him remember or to exercise more? I'm always bugging him about, don't be sitting so long, get up and move, walk to the front door to the kitchen and do that 5 times. And he's really reluctant to do any exercise. I have to maybe give him some rewards, maybe give him a cookie each time he comes back to the kitchen. But anyway, I read this And I wrote this down for myself. Self-criticism produces negative energy and depression. Instead of fault finding, practice gift finding. Every day we can focus on one good thing about ourselves. So let's do that. Focus on, if we're always finding fault, if I find fault with myself, I have to let that go and say, this is, cancel that thought, and find something about yourself that you appreciate. So when I was studying to be a religious science practitioner back in the early 90s, there was words by Howard Thurman that made a great impression on me. And these were his words. And I wrote them down, and I love what he had to say. It helps me. It says, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in good times or in tempest, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. I'm going to read that again. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in good times or in tempest, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. So these days, what I'm committed to, these days, what I am committed to when it overwhelms me at times, but whenever I feel that overwhelm, I remind myself that I am not alone. There is a sacred presence within me in those in whose perfection I love. There's a sacred presence within me in whose perfection I love. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. It manifests through me according to my awareness and acceptance of it. It's awareness and then accepting it, awareness of it and accepting of it. My faith reminds me to connect with that presence, to connect with that power, to know that I don't have to do this alone, that I have the strength. God gives me that strength to move through whatever circumstance that I'm dealing with at this time and have dealt with in the past and may deal with again in the future. So that is my message to myself. And so I'm on page 5 now, which I'm almost done with my talk. I need another drink of water and we'll go on. I have to tell you, I feel much better today. I had a good night's sleep. For the past week, John has been waking up 4 or 5 times at night and needs my help for something. And I have, if the bags under my eyes are kind of a reflection of that. But last night I had a pretty good sleep because after the second time he woke up, I gave him a sleeping pill and he slept through the night, and I did too. And but before I did that, I asked God for guidance and I said a prayer, help me to know what to do. And that idea to give him a little sleeping pill, and and it's very mild. It had melatonin, it had valerian root, and it helped him to sleep. And he said he had a good night's sleep last night too. So life is good, right? Okay, so where am I here? I like this. I said, when life gives you 100 reasons to cry, show life that you have 1,000 reasons to smile. And the question I ask myself is this: what am I doing to myself right now to make me feel this way? Whenever I feel depressed, I ask myself that question: what am I doing? What am I thinking right now that's causing these thoughts? And so when I become aware of what that is, and that's when I feel that causes me to feel scared. And when I feel scared, it's up to me, and it's the choice I make. Is I'm Joyce with a choice, right? And I make that choice to change my thinking and to get to that sacred love center within me, that sacred love center within me, that God presence, that Christ presence within me. My choice. Saying these words in spiritual mind treatment helped me to see a change from scared to sacred. And these are words that I say to me: I am now willing to see the gift in this experience. May the lessons be revealed to me, and may I become stronger and clearer. And so I remember peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the ability to remain centered no matter how upsetting the situation. Peace always begins with me. So my closing affirmation: I release all fears and I rest in the security of the sacred love that God is, the sacred love that God is. going from scared to sacred, and see that change. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote down here, I realize that everything that happens is actually leading me to a greater experience of love and forgiveness and a greater awareness that I am one with God and I cannot be separated. Everything changes and I get to respond in new and very holy ways to that change. And from A Course in Miracles, which is such a beautiful course, it's the miracle comes quietly into the mind that stops an instant and is still. And that's what that sit, stay, pray stops in an instant and is still. And there's a beautiful verse from the Bible, be still and know that I am God. And I put that and I broke that up into 2 sections. So I'd like you to go with me now to that place. And taking a deep breath. I love how Brian does, taking a deep breath. And that's what I'm thinking of now. So Brian, let's all take a deep breath and breathe in and release. and say these words to yourself or listen to them as I say them to you. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. So simply take that verse and bring it down to just be. From sacred, from scared to sacred, and just be. And I love that. Open my eyes that I may see the wondrous world that's a part of me. And this wondrous life that's a part of me as I'm moving through all of the experiences and learning the lessons that I need to learn. Peace, poise, power, and patience. I love those words. And I love to move from being scared to that place of sacredness that is the love and the compassion that is always present. It never goes away. It's always within us. It's up to us to be aware of it and to accept it. And so it is. And so I let it be. And that is my message this morning. Thank you.